Class 1 seniors.
All right, here we are. Let's sell it to you at $1,100 and 11 and a quarter, 11 and a quarter, 11 and a half, 75, 11.75.
We are so happy to be back and would like to thank all of our boosters and buyers who supported the youth in the 2020 auction. We hope to see you again this year at our live auction. Please make sure to get yourselves pre-registered by visiting bejlauction.com. There are many educational components of the Box Elder County Junior Livestock Program. This year, USU Extension Box Elder County and the County FFA programs hosted over 30 educational clinics for participating youth to learn about subjects such as livestock nutrition and disease prevention. Another major educational component of this program is the carcass contest, where youth learn real market principles by evaluating their carcasses through ultrasound. This year's carcass contest is generously sponsored by Chris and Nancy Sorensen and Slash M Ranch.
Hi, I'm Rhett Nielsen with Western Ag Credit in Tremont. When it comes to farming and ranching, it makes sense to work with a lender that understands financing in agriculture. Western Ag Credit specializes in agriculture and offers competitive rates with loans tailored to meet your business needs. Real estate, livestock, equipment, and operating loans are available. Conveniently located on Main Street in Tremont. Stop by today or give us a call, 435-257-0179. Western Ag Credit is your partner in agriculture.
So, Class 1, let's get started. As we get started here, I just want to say a few words to everybody in the barn and whatnot. This to me, for me, and everyone else is really the culmination of every boy and girl out there, that this is a culmination of their project. Things change a little bit today because now you're part of that project, and it's just as much you as the animal you're leading. So come out, do your best, and have fun.
Well, the last day of the county fair is rough on everybody. We're all sleep deprived. We're all tired. All of our feet hurt, so that makes it fun. So we're going to move kind of at a pretty abrupt pace today. Out here in our first class in our senior showmanship, we'll keep these 4 youngsters back over here on the rail. These 3 that are still out here, I thought we did some nice things. Every now and then we kind of lose me just a little bit, or we get a leg too far forward. Got to put those cattle together better, just a little bit better from the side. But my compliments to the kiddos on a job well done with their projects. Just some nitpicky things here and there. We'll resort these here in a minute. But let's give this first class of senior showmanship a nice round of applause as they head back to the barn on a job well done.
All right, that's class 1. He held out 4 there. We'll bring them back a little later. Class 2, let's enter the ring. Same drill as yesterday, basically. We'll get through 3 classes of the seniors and bring them. The judges selected to pull back and have a championship drive.
nice class in our second heat of our senior showmanship. I think the kiddos over here, we're gonna we'll resort them here in a second. Kiddos on the rail, young man up front. Every now and then our feet get just a little bit off in the way we put together, but I thought you did a nice job circling that steer and you paid attention yesterday. Hats off to you. Young lady, I think you do a nice job when this steer's set up. I want you to just take one step that way. Take one step that way. Boom, there we go. Pick his head up a little bit. Boom, there we go. There we go. Young man, I think you do a nice job. You too could step out just a little bit more and kind of just let that steer kind of just have his own look, okay? Every now and then our front feet just get a little off for me, in my opinion, but I think you do a nice job. My compliments to Class 2 in the senior showmanship around ringside. Let's give them a nice round of applause as they head back.
All right, we'll get these moved on out. You can go ahead, go down out at the bottom. Take them on out. We'll get ready for class 3. And there has been a phone found on the bleachers. Where's it at, Bobby? It's at the desk right here. If anybody's missing a phone, it's at the desk. All right, we'll get class 3 of the seniors in here. I think this last class, right? Last class of the seniors, come on in the ring. Same drill as yesterday.
as we wind down our senior showmanship in the heats. I think the kiddos on the rail, like we've been talking about this morning, we'll bring them back. I think the kiddos on the wall over there, I think they do a nice job. They're doing really good. When their cattle are now used to the show ring, so now they know exactly where to go, and they're pretty comfortable out here. I think when we get them parked to the side, I thought these three kiddos did the best job of being the most efficient and giving themselves the most room. Guys, these are big animals. You got to give yourself room. You got to give yourself spots where if you make a mistake, you can move up and you can fix it really quickly. We got to get out in front of those cattle and let them kind of stand up and just look their best. That's some nitpicky things. I thought we had a nice group. If you're a junior or intermediate shower, I would probably be in the stands watching the senior showman as much as I absolutely could, especially if it's my first or second year, so I can figure out how the ring goes. That's what I would be doing, and I think that's how you get better. At home, I don't let my cousins sometimes show in showmanship. I make them sit their butts in the stands, and we watch people and let them see other people make mistakes. Then they'll know not to do those things, and it'll save them from getting in trouble when we get done. So I challenge you to make your kids get in the stands. If you want to be really good at this, it takes time, it takes effort, and it takes learning from your mistakes, but you got to get in the stands and understand what those mistakes are. Just a little soapbox. I apologize for getting on it this morning. A nice round of applause as these kids head back to the barns. Well, what an awfully fun senior showmanship. I think we bring 9 or 10 kiddos back out here, and I think they all do a really good job. I'll be very blunt with you. The decision's always between 1 and 2. The rest of them, y'all are very good, but these are very, very good, if you understand what I'm talking about. Young lady and the young man that lead off, I think they set themselves apart in about 2 different things. They're the only ones that use the whole ring. They're the only ones, from the very first time they hit the ring yesterday, they knew exactly what to do. We didn't have to tell them, circle. We didn't have to tell them. They knew it. Young man, I look over there earlier and I see you in showmanship. You're the only person all day to come watch and see how the showmanship ring's going to work. The bingo, that might be why he's pretty good. Young lady, you're a natural. Just a straight natural. I don't know if you're trying to like glare a hole through my head when you're showing because you're not very smiling and they look very happy, but I'm okay with it if you win for me, and I'm good with that. I think it's close, maybe not a first and second. How about 1A and 1B? I can justify that just a little bit better in my head because I don't think there's much difference in the way they go about it. Both of these steers get a little tight right there in their center spine. Both of them do a very good job keeping that animal loin, keeping him put together. Just some nitpicky things here and there, and I'm not going to beat a drum and tell you that this is exactly how it needs to go. For me, I think the young lady just kind of hits me pretty hard. I think she's awfully good. She's going to be 1. Young man's going to be 2. I don't care. We can argue and talk about it all you want to. That's just the way I see it. Young man, I'm sorry. I think you do a really good job with your calf in 3. I think we do a really nice job when this steer's parked. Hey, young man, every now and then I see you want to turn your back and kind of walk your calf about 10 yards this way before you stop him, okay? Do that. I agree. Let's do that. Let's stop him, but let's cut it to 3 yards. Like your legs are about 3 times as long as mine. So you just take about 1, 2, stop. Okay? Just some nitpicky things. Every now and then, let's turn that steer's head this way. Let's put his nose to me. Makes his neck longer, I promise. I think you do a really nice job, though, young man. You just ran into a buzzsaw with 2 above him. On down the line, I thought we did an awesome job just here and there. Some foot placements get a little interesting the longer we go out here. I don't know if the cattle are tired or we're just trying to make sure we're keeping eye contact with me. I like cattle. Just put them in the ground. Let's walk them into their spot and don't really worry about it. I think these 2 young kiddos up top do the most complete job, but my hat's off to all the senior showmanship. Thought we did a really good job all the way through. Let's give them a nice round of applause and as they head on out.
Okay, class 1 of the intermediates can come in.
Okay, the winners of the senior showmanship, first place was Bella Bynes, second place, Garrett Smith, third, Jackson Frankham. Fourth, Taya Gonzalez. Fifth, Michaela Morris. Sixth, Wyatt Zollinger. Seventh, Elaine Westmoreland. Eighth, Rusty Rinderknecht. Ninth, Shaylee Rose. And 10th, McLean Spencer. Go ahead and come back to the table to get your prize.
First class in our intermediate showmanship. I think the three kiddos on the rail do the most consistent job, in my opinion. Young lady up front, I think you do a really good job. I know we were kind of nervous. We were just a touch late to our class, but that's okay. I think what gets you would have been the third or fourth pull for me, but I got to give it to the young man in the red, because when we kind of turn the corner, you kind of just go off the reservation a little bit, which kind of lose me just a little bit, but that's okay. We're gonna learn. We're gonna get better. I think you do a nice job when that steer's put together. Young lady in second, I think every now and then that steer gets his front knee just a little forward on you. His head gets a little off, but I think you do a nice job. Two young men behind her, I think do a nice job of just getting those cattle presented really well when we circle them. When we park them to the side, our feet just get a little off every now and then, either a back foot or a front foot. We got to get out in front of those cattle so I can see you just a little bit better, and you can make adjustments as the time goes on. A nice class in our first heat in the intermediate showmanship. Let's give all these kiddos a nice round of applause. Second heat comes in. We'll keep these three back over here on the rail. Young man up front. I think you do a nice job, buddy. It's tough being a leader every now and then, and with a steer that's kind of a little jumpy. It's okay. I thought you did a nice job there. For me, I want to see you use the whole ring. Use it all, okay? And when you know you're about to stop, let's get in front of that guy and just shut him down just a little bit so it doesn't take off on you, okay? You do a nice job, though. Hey, young man, I think you do an awesome job. I know in the show that thing got a little spirited out here. He gets a little spirited out here in showmanship, but I commend you for your efforts, buddy. It says a lot about your character for getting out here working really hard. I think if we just get him to relax, I think we can show him really good. I think you do a nice job. Just got to get hard on you today, buddy. I'm sorry. Young man, I think another one that gets kind of spirited out here. Once he calms down and he gets set, I think you do a nice job, okay? Let's step one step that way. Hold his head up. Boom, there it is. That's what we're supposed to be like, okay, buddy? Think you do a nice job. Young lady, I challenge you. Just kind of step away from that one just a little bit. There we go. There we go. And kind of hold his head up. Beautiful. There we go. Very good job. I think we got some things we can work on, and that's what we're all about, trying to make everybody better. I think these three kiddos did the most complete job in this particular class. Let's give all these youngsters a nice round of applause as they head back.
This is the third class for the intermediate. So if you're in the third class, you should be in the ring. There also was a phone found in the ladies' restroom, so if you lost your phone, it's at the table.
young man up front. I think every now and then, buddy, we get our feet just off just a little bit. I know that things cantankerous out here. I'm not very good with math, but I know he outweighs you by a bunch. But I think you do a really good job. For me, I got to just see his just put together from the side just a little better, get his front feet up underneath him. I think that'll fix where he kind of deviates right there in his top line a little bit, fix his back legs every now and then. Young lady, I think you do a nice job presenting your animal when we get him stuck. When that thing gets in motion, we just kind of just go just a little slower, and that thing will look just a little bit better, okay? You're in high gear all the time. That's okay. We get a lot of stuff done that way. We just got to know when to kick it in slow gear out here and just let that thing have his head and travel just a little bit. These three kiddos do the most consistent job. Young lady down on the far end is really dang good. I'm excited to get them all back, and we'll get you intermediate showmanship champion here in a second. But before we do that, let's give these kiddos that are headed back a nice round of applause. young lady that leads off our intermediate showmanship. I think she does so in a pretty fast way. I think every now and then, if we're getting nitpicky on her, that steer wants to lose his top line just a little bit. Young lady, we got to loin him and put it back together. Oh, look at you. Just look at you right there. There you go. We put him together just a little bit. Our right front leg just gets a little, just a little push forward ever so slightly. I think you did the most consistent job, young lady. I think no matter where you are, you always have that steer put together pretty darn well. I think you do a nice job. Young man, I'm going to tell you a trick, okay? Your front steer's feet kind of do this, okay? You ready? So you take the edge of your boot. That's what we do in Texas. So like it, love it, hate it, whatever. You take you some sawdust and you kick it right on that thing's front feet. You know why? Because that judge will never know that he splays out anymore. Got it? It's called the sawdust trick. I think after that, buddy, every now and then we get your back leg just stuck just a little too far back. I know you got that big long show stick and those big long arms, but kind of just don't put it all the way back there, okay? Because then your steer kind of falls apart in his top line, okay? Think every now and then, let's step out in front of that guy. One big back step. Boom, there it is. Now jack his head up. Boom, there it is. Boom. Young man, I think you show your way to third. I know this is showmanship, and that's kind of ironic, right? But I think you do a really good job. I get critical on some of them down the line. We have some feet placement off. I kept coming back to you, but you never had one of your feet off, so you end up in third for me. Right now, we need to fix your front foot just a little bit and pull your back one up just a nickel. But after that, I think you do a nice job, young man. These kiddos are just a little more elite in the way they go about it, but my hat's off to you. Young lady, you do a nice job getting everything out of your steer in four. I think this thing's just a little tight moving, and you know how to do that. You don't walk that thing too fast. You just kind of keep him in low gear. My compliments to you. I want to see you pick that steer's head up just a little bit more. I want to see you stake down that steer's top line and loin him, and I think that'll help his balance from the side. I think we got some youngsters that do a really good job on down the line. Just thought these four were the most consistent in the way they went about it in our intermediate showmanship. Excited to work through the juniors here in a second. Let's give these kids a nice round of applause in our intermediate showmanship.
Okay, the winners of the intermediate showmanship round were first place was McKenna Earl. Second was Davis Ramsdale. Third, Peyton McMurdy. Fourth, Cheyenne Sorensen. Fifth, Stetson Morris. Sixth, Hayden Adams. Seventh, Keyston Farrell. Eighth, Molly Larson. And ninth, Addison Hershey. We're ready to start the junior class 1.
Well, our junior showmanship comes out here, and I think the 4 on the rail, I think we're going to keep them back. We'll roll through them here in a little bit. The ones on the fence over there, I think the young man that leads off, I think he's got a steer that's wound up just a little tight for him. I compliment him. I think he does a nice job getting this thing stuck. For most part, I think he gets out in front of that calf and lets him kind of just see ahead of him. Every now and then we get our front legs just a little forward and our back legs a little long, kind of disconnect that steer right in the center portion of his spine. Kiddo right here, I think he does a nice job. I just got to want to see him a little more. We got to get him out in front of that one just a little bit. Nice job breaking a steer that just looks a little wound up as well. Young lady right here in the pink show stick, thinks she too does a very good job. Steer doesn't want to get out here and lead and go just quite well. In the show yesterday, I remember her. I think she did a really good job on a steer that's kind of hard to put together. We get out here, she keeps her front knees just a little spread, too much for me. Back legs are fine, just spreads them out a little too up front and wants to let that steer just kind of disconnect a little bit. Young lady that concludes right here, I think does a nice job. Every now and then front foot gets a little off, back foot doesn't just sit in the right spot for me, but we're doing the little things right, and that's all that matters. Let's give these kids a nice round of applause in our first class.
Okay, we're ready for Class 2 of the juniors. Class 2.
man, probably the tightest class of showmen we've had all day. I think all of them do a really good job. I think we can go lots of ways when we're going to bring 3 back. These are just the elected 3 that I chose to come back. Young man up front, I think you do a really nice job when you get this steer parked, buddy. I think you lead the class, and I think that's tough on you because you're asking kind of where you want to go. That's okay. I challenge you to come up. Let's watch a couple classes before, and I think we can just learn it just a little bit better. I wanted you to pick that steer's head up just a little bit. That's a nice look right there on a good steer you've done a good job with. Young man in second, I think you want to let this steer spin on you just a little bit, okay? Yep, you just want to let him spin just a little bit. You can stay right there. Don't worry about it. Just kind of let him spin just a little bit. We got to bring him back over here and just get his feet stuck just a little bit better, but you do a nice job. Kiddo that comes next, I think you do a great job when we get this steer parked and set up. It was close between if you get pulled and if you don't. I think it's just interesting when you let that calf just kind of come to you. He gets a little off in his back legs, and we want to knock his knee back in him just a little bit. Do a nice job, though. These are the 3 that I elected to use. If you got a different way you want to go about it, I probably wouldn't argue because I think it's that close. My compliments on a job well done. Let's give him a nice round of applause.
Okay, we're ready for class 3 of the juniors. Class 3.
nice heat in our last heat of our junior showmanship. I think we got some youngsters on the wall that do a really good job. Young lady up front, every now and then we get our front feet and our back feet just a little in the wrong spot, but that's okay. I think this year he's trained really well. He cooperates with you out here. It says a lot about your work ethic and your time at home. Just we got to fix those legs ever so slightly to get pulled in this particular heat. Young man with the cowboy hat, I'm jealous of you. My head is, I think, way too big for a cowboy hat, or so my mom and my girlfriend tell me. I haven't really tried it on yet, so I'm jealous of you. But out here, I think we got to get that one's top line just down just a little bit. We got to loin that one. I want to see you step out in front of that steer, okay? Just some nice things we can work on there. Young man in the back, I thought we'd do a nice job getting this steer stuck, and then he kind of just manhandles you a little bit. I bet his head weighs about as much as you do, so that's a little tough out here, okay? But you keep working hard for me, young man. Hey, piece of advice, when you get back there where you can't see nobody, just walk all the way down and all the way back and find your own spot, okay? Young man right here, I thought we'd do a nice job with you as well. Those back feet, we got to just put them together just a little bit better, okay? But that's a nice job. Young man, your flow is amazing. Your steer, he's kind of crazy. All right? Okay, no big deal there, all right? You do a nice job, though, for you, okay? But we just got to fix and tweak his hind leg just a little bit every now and then. He gets it a little far back. Excited to pick a champion junior showman here in a second. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you're around ringside, let's give these kiddos a nice round of applause.
Who wants to go first?
Well, man, what a fun way to conclude our steer show yesterday. Got to pick a really nice one, I think, to win on down the line. I think the top 6 or 7 are very nice cattle that just do well, whether it's in a show ring or in the feed lot. We come back out here today to judge showmanship. I knew yesterday it would be pretty tough, and we'd have to make some close calls. It's tough judging showmanship, guys, because I'm sure around ringside there's some parents and some guys that help get stuff ready that know those cattle don't act like that at home, and then I see them for probably 7 or 8, 10 minutes, and they don't act very good. They don't put their hind leg where they're supposed to. A young lady or young man gets 3rd in class when you know at home that she probably doesn't make that mistake, and that's tough. That's extremely tough as a show judge, and then you gotta be able to live with that and understand what you did and how you did it. For me, I think the young lady that wins, I'll debate this one all day if you think someone at her age is better than she is. I think this one just has a presence to her. She just knows when she just hits the ring, it's pedal to the metal. We're going to do the absolute best that we can. I bet that her and that steer have spent lots of time together, and they know each other. That is a ginormous animal. If he tweaks it any minute, she's in deep trouble. But that girl does a really nice job. Today, she wants to just let his top line creep up in him. Oh, look, she just fixed it. He wants to just creep up in him just a little bit, but that young lady does an awesome job. My offer still stands, young lady. If you ever get tired of 7-foot snow in the winter, we don't have snow in West Texas, ever. So just come on down. We'll put you on some big time ones. Young lady in second, hey, you do a very nice job. I think every now and then we get those back feet just a little bit off. You see what I'm talking about, like right there? Yeah, just a little bit off. Without that front knee, kind of twist just a little bit. Go ask my buddy with the long hair. He'll tell you the sawdust trick, and he can fix that for you. But every now and then you just get those off just a little bit. We kind of spin him out just a little bit. He's kind of a cantankerous little booger out here, I'll tell you that. I think you're very good. You just ran into one that I hope you either get older or she gets older, so we don't have to battle and trade spots for a long time. Young lady in 3, nothing fundamentally wrong the way you go about business, young lady. I want to see you just step that way just a little bit. Come, there we go. There, nope. Yep, there we go. And I think every now and then those front feet just get just a little bit off like they are right now. But I think you do a nice job with a really good presented steer that you and your family should be awfully proud of. Great job. These 3 young ladies are awfully good. I think the intermediate showman and the senior showmanship would have been really tough. If we could pick a supreme, we might be out here 30 minutes waiting on one of them to make a mistake. So that would be pretty tough. I think on down the line we do some nice jobs. I think we just get a little off in the way our leg placement goes every now and then, but I commend them for their efforts. It was an awesome steer show all the way through. Thank you to all the committee members. Thank you to my ring man. I'm taking him to Texas with me when I judge a show down there because he's dang good at what he does. If you had any hand in this steer show today, let's make sure we give all of them a nice round of applause. It's a thankless job, and they certainly deserve it.
Well, I'm here to say, from last year, being the wreck, we was all in and everything, but from this year, I've seen a huge improvement in these kids, and that comes from parents, grandparents, family, friends, help. Nothing wrong with that. That's nothing wrong with that. These kids have come out here, and I've seen a big difference, and I'm pretty proud of the Box Elder County youth. I want to take this opportunity to thank my wife. She's the bread and butter behind this. So she puts everything together, does a lot of hard work. And boy, for me, this is the completion of a project. And we had 62 or 65 kids out of 95 come back in. Now that's dedication, that's commitment. That's getting the job done right there. And last but not least, our judge. What a fine job he's done for us. He's had his hands full, his pockets full, his shoes full, his pants full. I mean, he has had a big job, and he's done one spectacular job going through these critters. I mean, you take 700 animals and go through that, you know, I'd be snowblind. I wouldn't know what critter I was looking at. But many thanks to him, many thanks to him and his future and what he evolves to be. I'm very proud of him. Thank you guys for coming. Thanks for your help. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy the fair.
Okay, the winners of the junior class was, first place was Gracie Earl. Second was Krissa Hawks. Third was Annie Walker.
Morning, folks.
Fourth was Brinley Adams.
Will be available to pick up today and tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. in the Home Arts Building. So come on over at 10.
Fifth was Everett Ramsdale. Sixth, London Gamble. Seventh, Kylie Adams. Eighth, Grayson Leak. Ninth, Blakely Pugsley. 10th, Claire Daniels. 11th, Cash Leak. And 12th, Hope Kunzler.
And we thank our sponsors.
And we'd like to thank our sponsors for the beef fitting and showmanship, which was Rudd's Funeral, Elison Ranch.
All right, here we are. Let's sell it to you at $1,100 into 11 quarter, 11 quarter, 11.75, 11.75.
We are so happy to be back and would like to thank all of our boosters and buyers who supported the youth in the 2020 auction. We hope to see you again this year at our live auction. Please make sure to get yourselves pre-registered by visiting bejlauction.com. There are many educational components of the Box Elder County Junior Livestock Program. This year, USU Extension Box Elder County and the County FFA programs hosted over 30 educational clinics for participating youth to learn about subjects such as livestock nutrition and disease prevention. Another major educational component of this program is the carcass contest, where youth learn real market principles by evaluating their carcasses through ultrasound. This year's carcass contest is generously sponsored by Chris and Nancy Sorensen and /M Ranch.
Lincoln Financial specializes in estate, investment, and retirement planning, as well as business benefits. At Lincoln, they are totally impartial, comb through different options to create financial products that a person needs. Lincoln Financial, big city service, small town care.
Whether you are purchasing a car, buying a home, managing an investment property, starting a small business, or leaving behind a legacy, American Family Insurance will help you protect your dream. Golden Spike Power Sports has served Box Elder County since 1947 in ag and power sports. Golden Spike carries Polaris and Honda brands, but services all brands. They strive to maintain high-quality customer service in all departments. Stop by today. Roach Ranches supports the people that support them and the fantastic youth of the Valley. Thank you for over 60 years in business, quality seed stocking, gravel, and hunting.
A little over 10,000 years ago, mankind first domesticated cattle. At this exact same time, cattle domesticated us. They give us their milk, their meat, their hides. We give them sustenance and care. And And while they may live in pens and fields, farmers and ranchers are just as tied to the land. Our two species have worked together and taken care of each other for centuries. Our relationship is ancient and deep. The bond between us is not a yoke, it's a commitment. A 10,000-year-old promise to provide for our cattle as they provide for us. Zoetis is born of that bond. We are today's advanced answer to that ancient pact. Every minute of every hour, in countless ways, we help make the bond stronger, healthier, more robust. We help make it unbreakable. We are humankind for cattle kind. We are born of the bond.